Thousands of runners, walkers, and cyclists took part in the Badger Challenge in Madison today to raise money for cancer research at the UW Carbone Cancer Center. That's research for all types of cancer in hopes of finding a cure for people right here in Wisconsin. Now, in its 8th year, the Badger Challenge brings families together in all different stages of their cancer journeys.
Everybody that comes out here today is touched by cancer in some way. So we have a lot of families that are just swarming their recently diagnosed mother. We have people that are here that are remembering their dad from years past. And we have people that are here that are survivors, that have been through it and have been at the Carbone Cancer Center and just riding and continuing their journey of their cancer discovery and treatment.
And as of this morning, $925,000 have been raised. Organizers are hoping to raise $1 million by the end of this week. Donations can still be made online through the end of the year.